Chapter 7, Your Long-Term Financial Structure. Let's dive into this important topic. Once a simple budget is humming, the next step is structure that keeps it strong over the long run. This chapter brings together monthly reviews, quarterly planning, and small upgrades that make a big difference. The focus is on systems you can maintain without becoming obsessive. Routine steps that protect your progress and let you aim for bigger goals. Start with the monthly review, a short checklist that helps you close the month cleanly. Compare planned versus actual, move money into savings or debt payments, and set priorities for the next month. Then you'll use quarterly planning to check bigger picture goals, emergency fund targets, debt payoff timelines, and meaningful savings plans like travel or a down payment. Quarterly planning keeps your budget from being purely tactical and connects daily choices to real goals. Small upgrades add up. You'll get a menu of low-effort improvements that boost security and reduce work. Automating transfers, creating a simple emergency buffer, consolidating recurring payments, and using a small set of trusted tools. These changes aren't flashy, but they make your financial life smoother. The final section ties everything together with a gentle maintenance plan you can follow for years. The system is built to be flexible, so when life changes, your budget bends instead of breaking. The result is quiet confidence. You'll know how to handle surprises, grow toward goals, and keep money from feeling like a daily stress. This chapter shows how to stay steady without losing the simplicity that made the whole plan work. 7.1 Monthly Review. The monthly review is a short, focused ritual that closes one month and sets up the next. Spend 20 to 30 minutes doing a quick check. Compare what you planned to what actually happened, move money where it needs to go, and pick one priority for the coming month. The goal is clarity, not perfection. Check planned versus actual. Begin with your three numbers: money in, money out, money left. Open your budget and compare each of the 4 category targets to what actually happened. Look for the largest gaps first. Those reveal the most useful information. Ask simple diagnostic questions. Was an overspend a one-time event, a car repair, or a repeating habit? Weekly takeout? Did income change unexpectedly? Turning surprises into questions gives you clear actions instead of blame. Record variances with a short note: cause, size of the gap, and a proposed fix. These quick annotations build a pattern you can review later and make future months easier to predict. Keep the aim realistic. This review is about clarity, not perfection. A focused 20 to 30-minute comparison each month delivers more insight than endless daily tracking, and it helps you make grounded adjustments. Move money where it belongs. When the month closes, act on the results. If you have surplus funds, transfer them to their intended places: savings goals, an emergency buffer, or an extra debt payment. Putting money where it belongs reduces temptation and locks in progress. If you're short, decide which category will cover the gap and plan a modest correction for the next month. Trim flexible spending, delay a non-essential purchase, or shift a small amount from the buffer. Write down the decision so it's easy to follow. Automate the common moves. Scheduled transfers to savings or debt accounts turn good intentions into steady results without ongoing effort. Even small, regular contributions add up faster than sporadic large efforts. Think of these transfers as practical safeguards, not punishments. Moving money early protects the gains you made and prevents leftovers from turning into impulse spending. Set one practical priority. Pick a single, practical focus for the coming month, small, specific, and measurable. Instead of a vague goal like save more, choose add $100 to the buffer or cut dining out by 2 visits. One clear target keeps the month manageable. Make the priority behavior-based and concrete. Note exactly what you'll do. Schedule the transfer, plan 2 home-cooked meals per week, or move a portion of a paycheck into savings. Treat this as your monthly intention. Track progress during your weekly resets so you can correct course early. Celebrate the win when you hit it. Small successes build momentum and sustain motivation. Over months, these tiny focused wins compound into real progress. A single priority keeps your budget actionable and prevents overwhelm from too many simultaneous goals. Update recurring items and subscriptions. Quickly review subscriptions, insurance, and any annual or seasonal bills that could affect the next month. Prices, coverage, and needs change. This short scan prevents surprise charges and keeps your plan aligned with reality. Cancel or downgrade services you no longer use and flag upcoming one-time costs like renewals or memberships. Move these items into the appropriate category so they're covered rather than forgotten. Also check payment dates and amounts. Companies sometimes change charges without clear notice. If it helps cash flow, shift billing dates or consolidate services to reduce fees and simplify tracking. Spending 10 to 15 minutes on this housekeeping saves time and stress later. Set a reminder for an annual deep check so nothing slips through the cracks and your budget stays current. 7.2 Quarterly Planning. Quarterly planning is a slightly deeper check that connects your monthly habits to bigger goals. Every 3 months, take an hour to review progress on emergency savings, debt payoff, and major goals like travel or a down payment. This keeps short-term choices tied to long-term results. Review progress toward big goals. Start by pulling a simple snapshot of your goals, emergency fund balance, remaining debt, and any long-term savings targets. Compare where you are now to where you expected to be at the start of the quarter. Use plain numbers, no fancy graphs, so you can clearly see progress or slippage. If you find progress slow, pick one practical change for the next quarter. That might be a modest extra transfer to savings, canceling one recurring subscription, or shifting a portion of a bonus toward debt. Commit to that single change rather than overhauling everything. Track the change with a clear short check every month. Celebrate small wins, adding $50 to a fund or reducing debt by one payment, because they build momentum. Quarterly reviews are about steady, achievable improvement, not perfection. Adjust targets based on life changes. When income, household size, or priorities shift, use the quarterly review as a low-stress moment to update targets. Big life events, a raise, a new child, or a move, should prompt calm adjustments, not panicked reactions. Treat targets as flexible guides, not immutable rules. Start by asking how the change affects your essential needs, buffer level, and timeline for goals. If a promotion increases income, consider directing a portion to long-term goals before inflating lifestyle spending. If your household grows, raise essentials and emergency fund targets first. Document any adjustments and set a short trial period, 1 quarter, to see how the new targets feel. Communicate changes with partners or family so everyone understands priorities. This keeps your plan aligned with life instead of fighting it. Rebalance priorities across categories. Quarterly planning is a great time to reallocate money between your 4 core categories: essentials, savings, flexible spending, and debt. Look at recent months to see which categories consistently overrun or underspend, and adjust caps where needed. If rent rises, shift more toward essentials by trimming flexible spending or redirecting a portion of savings temporarily. Conversely, during a high-income quarter, you might boost savings or fast-track a debt payment. Small rebalances, 5 to 10% adjustments, often solve problems without adjusting routines. Decide whether changes are temporary or permanent, and note them in your plan. Rebalancing should help the budget reflect current priorities, not punish past choices. Keep changes simple so you can maintain consistency. Plan for upcoming big expenses, list known large costs for the next quarter. Insurance premiums, planned travel, car maintenance, or seasonal bills. For each item, set a clear target amount and break it into small, regular deposits so the total arrives without strain. Create simple sinking funds inside your budget and automate transfers if possible. For example, a $600 trip becomes a $200 monthly deposit over 3 months. This keeps the regular budget intact and prevents last-minute scrambling. If a big cost is unavoidable and immediate, prioritize essentials and the largest impact savings first, then reduce flexible spending temporarily. Planning ahead turns potential budget shocks into manageable steps and keeps your steady progress intact. 7.3. Small upgrades that improve everything. Small, low-effort upgrades add resilience to your budget without turning it into a full-time job. Focus on automations, a modest buffer, and clearing friction. These moves protect what you've built and make sticking to the system easier. Automate the important transfers. Automation is about removing friction. Set up automatic transfers for your priorities, your core savings, any debt payments, and essential bills. Align each transfer with your pay schedule so money moves when cash arrives, not after you've already spent it. Start by automating one thing, perhaps a small weekly transfer to savings. Then add another once that feels comfortable. Automation reduces decision fatigue and the risk of forgetting payments, which keeps late fees and stress down. Check your automated flows during the monthly review to ensure amounts still match your goals and to avoid overdrafts. If you need flexibility, use adjustable dates or buffer accounts rather than turning automation off and on. That keeps the habit intact while letting you tweak amounts as life changes. Create a simple emergency buffer. A modest, accessible buffer prevents small shocks from derailing your plan. Aim for enough to cover a week or two of essentials, rent, food, utilities, rather than an intimidating 6-month target right away. Keep this money separate but easy to access. A dedicated savings account or a labeled sub-account works well. Build the buffer with tiny recurring transfers that don't strain your daily life. Use the weekly money reset to top it up when you have a little extra. When you use the buffer, treat replenishing it like a high-priority line item so it doesn't stay depleted. Over time, this simple cushion gives you breathing room and makes the 90% rule less risky. Consolidate recurring payments. Recurring charges quietly erode your budget and create bookkeeping clutter. Once a quarter, list every subscription and recurring payment. Cancel duplicates, pause rarely used services, and consider switching to annual plans if the discount makes sense for what you actually use. Even small annual savings add up. Consolidation reduces the number of transactions you track during weekly and monthly reviews, making upkeep faster and less annoying. Use your bank's merchant list or a subscription tracker to spot forgotten charges. When possible, combine similar services, like streaming bundles, and set a calendar reminder to reevaluate these decisions periodically so they continue to serve you without draining attention or cash. Pick a minimal tool set and stick with it. Simplicity wins. Choose 1 or 2 tools you will actually use, a single budgeting app and a weekly checklist, or a simple spreadsheet and a small paper notebook. The goal is consistency, not perfection. Too many apps or detailed trackers increase friction and make you avoid the habit. Decide on a primary tool for tracking and a secondary one for backups or quick notes. Keep categories and labels the same across both so your monthly review is painless. Reassess every few months and only add tools if a clear, persistent need appears. A minimal, familiar toolkit keeps maintenance fast and makes it far more likely you'll stick with your budget for the long haul.